Hey, I'm Emma Mitchell, Energy Healing Guide, and of course, I'm here with Rebecca Fishkin. Today, we're talking about emergencies, what to do when your day gets derailed by somebody else, whether it's intentional on their part or not, and what to do about it, how to react, how to communicate, and how to get your day back on track. So, I'm just going to kick it over to Rebecca because she's going to do most of the educating today. So, go ahead, let's get going, Rebecca.
Thanks, Emma. So, my goal with Clarity to Authenticity coaching is to help people avoid overwhelm and burnout. And part of what causes overwhelm is that, or one of the causes, is that we have very hectic schedules and we have our, never-ending to-do lists. And then we might tend to be people pleasers, or we just are in an environment where people feel entitled to come in and take over our day and have their own priorities take over ours. So I want to talk today about how to take control of that and to avoid someone derailing you, because they always happen, right? We talked in one of our past sessions about having white space in our day because inevitably someone has something that they want us to do that is a higher priority than what we already had planned for that day. So, first of all, how do we define emergencies? I think we talked about this too, that this is my perspective, is if there's blood, someone died, or there's a fire, maybe a flood. I guess that could be an emergency too. But do you see what I mean? Like those are absolute emergencies. The sky is falling. However, what are other people's emergencies? It could be something that is completely out of your control. You can't do anything about it. So if they're coming to you, maybe it's stopping them for a second. Do you want me to just listen to this? Are you venting? Is this something you want me to fix and solve? Or is this something that I should put everything else that I have aside and focus on you? Is that more like, is that what I should be doing right now? And I think that getting clarity on what are their expectations of you right now, because if they're just coming to um, take over your time, hijack your time, that's not something that'll work for you. So otherwise, if we're constantly, the other thing is that when computers can switch tasks from one to the other, they're a program. They don't have anything other than a program going. Versus humans, we have emotions and thoughts and everything else that goes on around us. So that when we're switching from what we're focusing on right now to the person that just walked into the room and said, I need your help with something, that takes you time to get 100% focused on them. And then once they say, I need you to do this, you go back to your computer and there you still have everything that you've been working on. So now you have to take time to switch that. There's all of this tactics that stop us from focusing on what we should be doing and distracting us and wasting our time. So task switching can take 10 to 15 minutes back and forth between what you were doing to what they want and back again. So getting that clarity will help you understand how much of your task switching should you be doing. We also sometimes just need to calm them down, right? Something just happened to them that went unexpected. Calm them down. That we're not going to and what can do for your day. That could end up derailing you as well. We don't want someone else's energy to do that to us. So asking clarification, when would you like this to be done by? Can I get it done for you later today by 2 o'clock? Right now it's 10 o'clock. How can we get clarification on what do they need and how long will it, or what's the time frame? Also remember that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Is this person's emergency that much more important than what you're focusing on right now? Sometimes it's yes. Just know that when you're saying yes to this, you're saying no to something else. And if we continue to allow this person, if it happens to be habitual, if we're having this person constantly interrupt us, what are we enabling them to do? Is it disrespecting us and our priorities and that they're more important than I am? Maybe it's your boss, so they are important. But the idea is what what are your what are you disrespecting? Maybe you're not respecting yourself if you're continuing to put other people's priorities before yours. We could go through life with our superwoman cape on and rescuing everybody and fixing all of their problems. What does that do to your to-do list? It doesn't get done, it continues to grow, and then that causes us to have emotional suppression, frustration, stress. And now that stress then overtakes other parts of our lives. We have irrational blowups with our spouses or other family members. Really understand how getting derailed not only impacts that particular moment, but all of these other aspects of your life. So those are my 2 cents about this. Emma, what do you have to add?
Well, that's great. The thing I was thinking about when you're talking about when somebody puts everybody else first, most of the time, those are the people that come to me for help, probably come to you too, because they've lost themselves. If you continually put everybody before you, you're saying, one, I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think that I have value. And probably you don't want to work on your own stuff, the things that you've prioritized, because maybe you have a fear, maybe you're avoiding, maybe you're procrastinating. And it's easier to put everybody else's stuff first than to actually focus on yourself, especially as business owners. And we'll just talk about business owners for a second. If you're constantly just taking everybody else's stuff and not doing your own, you're definitely telling the world, my value is not there. I don't care about myself, and your clients aren't going to care about you much either if you're consistently putting their needs before your own and not setting those boundaries. And I think I may have said this in a different video, but when we talk about boundaries with others, it's easier to set boundaries with a new person than it is with somebody that we've allowed to continually run us over and put something in front of us and we'll just take it on. Something that we actually had spoke about before this was this trap that we can fall into without communicating or getting clarification, because it's very easy to say, oh, this is an emergency. This person needs my help, without actually asking them, do you need do you need this right now? It's so easy to make the assumptions and be 24/7 and consistently just allow. And like you were saying, it totally leads to burnout and suppression of emotions and frustration and resentment towards yourself and the other person. And then you take it home, and then, it's just a spiral. So I did want to talk a little bit about this inner child technique that I do. So when we think about, just maybe bring to mind a recent situation where you allowed somebody to derail your day, where you took on somebody else's emergency. Bring that to mind and maybe close your eyes for a moment. And when you're bringing that to mind, maybe you can feel into your body and feel where is that coming from? Where does that sensation lie? I use the word chakra, but we'll just say, like, is it in your heart? Is it in your stomach? Is it lower down? Is it in your head? Is it in your throat? And when you think about that, what part of your inner self is this triggering? Because your inner child, is calling for something here. It may be calling for, I want to be heard. I want to be seen. I want to be loved. I don't want to lose this job, or I don't want to lose the trust of this person, or maybe it's that I don't think I matter. Sometimes when I do this technique, I see my inner teenager saying, I don't think people are going to think I'm cool if I don't do XYZ thing for them. So if you can really tap into that and feel into your body and maybe see this vision, this version of your inner self saying, hey, here I am, I'm 5 years old, and I feel like I'm not loved right now. And then going a step further and inner parenting yourself, going to this inner child and giving them what they need. Do they need a hug? Do they need somebody to say, it's okay, or you matter, or you have value? What is it that they need? And I know this is kind of a quick one here, but this is something that I walk people through all the time. It really is a good way to visualize and get to the root of the problem because there's a reason you're letting people walk all over you, or there's a reason you're feeling triggered and angry because you feel like somebody's walking all over you. So it's a really good technique for that thing.
I like that. Very, very well said. The whole idea of allowing people to walk all over you for whatever reason is where I was talking about with the disrespect of yourself. So you matter. Your priorities and what you want and need is very important. And I will say that from the perspective of someone who's been through burnout, when someone does the analogy of you have to put an oxygen mask on yourself before helping someone else, I fought that until about 8 years ago. Because that other person, what if they're a 5-year-old child? Like, how could I put myself like, they totally need me? And then I realized the reality of that is I had been disrespecting myself and not putting the mask on myself first and taking care of the things that are important to me before taking care of other people. And I don't want anyone to go through that. That's not good.
I do want to say too, I know you've said this in one way, but it's our job to care about ourselves. It's not anybody else's job to care about us. And that's the unfortunate truth. So if we're not holding our boundaries, we can't expect anybody else to stand up and say, "Hey, you're not holding your boundaries with me." They're they're just living their own life. So that oxygen mask, as much as we hear that, it's so true. It's our job to put that mask on first because if we pass out while we're trying to put it on everybody else, who's that really helping? It's not helping them and it's not helping us either.
Exactly. Yeah. Respect your boundaries, respect yourself, and know that you are important and you are loved. And if you still are hearing a voice in your head while both of us are talking about this that is telling you otherwise, contact us and we can help you with that voice.
Yes, yes, exactly. Do you think next time we should talk about what to say to hold our boundaries and how to align expectations? I feel like that's going to be a bigger conversation.
That would be good. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. Good
All right.
idea.
That sounds good. Okay, cool.
All
Well, I
right.
don't
Well,
have anything else for this. Do you, Rebecca?
nope. So until next time, stay tuned and we'll see you then.
Yeah, sounds good. Goodbye.
Bye.